Hello, my friends. It's Manny Rodriguez. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime, where we explore the ongoing cases that are going on, things that you might be interested in following if you're into true crime. A lot of people love following this true crime. My goal is to help you be aware of what goes on out there, to help you become smarter out there, and to always help you understand, what are things you should be aware of. You know, even starting this YouTube channel with around deep true crime, I've always been one that believes be aware of your surroundings. But following a lot of these stories, I'm even learning more and more. And literally, I have a lot of that even goes through in my mind. Be alert here, be alert there. What could possibly happen here? So that's the goal of my channel, is to help you be alert. If that sounds like something you like to follow, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, and let YouTube know you're getting some value. This is something you would like to follow. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be right back in 10 seconds. Thank you for being here today. We're going to dive right into it. I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me today. The next thing I want to share with you is the Parkland killer. You guys remember the Parkland killer, right? The school of the kid who shot up a bunch of kids. Oh my God, it's one of the worst mass shootings in life. And so this 2018 Parkland school massacre, Nikolas Cruz, he pleads guilty, which is changing his plea, because at first he didn't plead guilty. And so today, Nikolas Cruz pleads guilty today to this heinous act. And so he pleaded guilty to murdering 17 people during his rampage at his former high school in Parkland, Florida. It's one of the worst things to ever happen. One of the worst things. And now the jury will decide whether he will get the death penalty or just spend the rest of his life in prison. Now, I'm not going to give my thoughts on that, because there's some pros and cons of both honestly. But I am not a fan of playing God. But in the Bible, you take a life, you get what you deserve. And so for one, I think I would prefer him just spend the rest of his life in prison until he died. And I know it costs taxpayers a lot of money, but I feel that's more justice. Now, granted, he'd probably stay on death row for 15, 20 years. That's a long time too. But he should never see the light of day again, unless he's going out in the fences. But now he changes his plea. He also, he talks about smoking marijuana being some of what caused this. I don't know about that. I definitely don't know about all of that. And so a lot of the victim relatives, they were in the courtroom. They were watching this whole thing. And so, of course they broke down in tears and they were holding hands across, of all the families. I sure hope there's no stupid conspiracy theories that come about this one, like the Sandy Hook one. And I think the guy who started that whole thing, I can't remember his whole name, I think he's being held accountable. But it's amazing when you can try to put conspiracy theories around things and then people actually buy into that. It's kind of mind-blowing sometimes. And so that's why the internet is, sometimes the internet's not very good. It's got its pros and cons too, right? But sometimes you can spread a false lie that can reach so many people too fast and it be false. And so you see a lot of that right now. But will he get life or will he die? And so now the 12 jurors, they're going to do that. And so Cruz, he did apologize. So I don't know what to say about that. He did apologize. I'm sure it fell on deaf ears. Those parents could care less about this apology. It's my guess. But even as he was apologizing, several of those parents were shaking their head. They weren't buying it. But he said, I'm very sorry for what I did. I can't live with myself sometimes, you know? And of course, they're like, whatever. They're not buying into that. They're not buying into that. You know, one parent, Gina Hoyer, her 15-year-old son, Luke, died in the shooting. You know, she saw it as part of a defense strategy to keep a violent, evil person off death row. That makes sense. That makes sense that he would do that so that he doesn't, so that the jury has a little sympathy for him and say, look, he looks like he's, you know, regretting it. And so we got to figure that part out, like what will happen. And we won't really know much on whether he's going to get death row or is he going to get life sentence. We won't know that answer for a little while. We won't know that answer for a little while. And so one parent, now this parent, or this student, he was a former Stoneman Douglas student, and he was shot 5 times and severely wounded. He told the reporters after the hearing that he accepted Cruz's apology, but noted that it was not up to him to decide the confessed murderer's fate. And his quote was, "He made a decision to shoot the school. I am not God to make the decision to kill him or not. That's not my decision. My decision is to be a better person and to change the world for every kid. I don't want this to happen to anybody again. It hurts. It really hurts. So I am just going to keep going." That's it. I appreciate that response. You know, he almost sounded like someone who's like, I'm going to use this to better the world. Good luck with that. You can't fix crazy. You cannot fix crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just not convinced you can fix crazy. You know, you can fix mistakes. You can move forward, learn from the mistakes, but I don't think you can fix crazy. Once they're gone, they're gone. But again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to play psychologist, so I'm moving on from that one. But, you know, he has pleaded guilty. He's apologized. Now, his fate waits in the juror's hand. We'll only know more when we know more.